What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave Podcast for episode 245.
Are you sure it's 45?
It is 245 because last week I edited a video and it was 244. So this week is 245. I am joined along with none other than the bearded sultan himself,
Robbie Ross.
and
Channeling
my
inner
ears
MJ.
hurt from that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. And the dungeon master herself.
Allie.
So, before I get into all of that, there's a special thing at the very end of the video. Let's watch all the way to the end.
Yeah, see, but now that you've said that, people are just going to skip to the end of the video.
Or I'm going to put it just somewhere randomly now. They don't mess with the whole
You're not
flow.
going to put that much time into it.
You don't know.
No, I do.
There's times when someone says you're not going to do something.
And Zach does it.
See, that was my plan all along. Reverse psychology.
So we got stuff we're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But first off, if you don't know, everybody, you can get the Nerd Cave Podcast early over at patreon.com/nerdcave. Toss us a few dollars, mate, Robbie. I'm going to take these off.
I was going to say, I'm so sorry for everybody listening to this.
You can't do this with me. You can't have headphones on while I'm on the
I can't have headphones
The
on.
only way you can do that is if we're all wearing headphones, so then that way he can't blast his own ears out.
Yes, that's what I should do. So we got that. You can also check out Nerd Caves and Dragons, which episode 2 and 3 currently in early access over there.
On Patreon.
Episode 2 will come out Monday for everybody. 3 will still be in
Early access.
Okay, we're trying to make up some time.
Yeah.
And we're
Blame my
recording
laptop.
today with more Nerd Caves and Dragons. So it's going to be very, very fun. We'll do probably 4 and 5 today. So it's
Better
going to
be
be
doing 4 and 5 today.
It's going to be awesome. You can go check that out there. You can get Nerd Caves and Dragons for $1.
Oh, yeah.
It's a week or multiple weeks early for the $1 and everything. So
Again, I apologize.
check all of that out. Support us there. It helps keep the lights on. It helps make everything possible. We'll be drawing our raffle stuff. We've been trying to get everything off the ground with all the new changes and everything.
So if you did win one of our raffles, you will be getting it.
Yeah. We haven't picked the raffles yet, but we'll pick them and we'll send them out.
Yeah.
This month we'll do January, February, March.
You gotta lie and say we do have it. We just have some logistics to work through. You lied.
We have the prizes.
Yeah, but you should have said we've chosen it.
Yeah, but then it would be like, why didn't I get notified?
Then you say that like that's exactly logistics, red tape.
We don't lie in the Nerd Cave.
Yeah,
We're
honesty
real.
is the best policy.
We let you know what's going on.
We're not full of corporate bullcrap.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, I'm not either. But if the evil mouse overlord ever came to me and was like, "Hey, if we pay you to do this, will you do this?" I'd be like, "Yes, of course." How fast do I need to sell my soul?
You also support microtransactions. So.
Cosmetic microtransactions. I believe it was Nick Caputo who said that I hit it on the head. They'll never go away. Sorry, Zach.
But you look at PlayStation, their first party games.
Zach, why are you talking about video games? This isn't a video game podcast.
Well, we're going to talk about some stuff video games wise. But before we do that, let's talk about Robbie's interesting work experience this week.
Violence in the workplace. Okay. So it was Wednesday. Yeah, just like recorded.
It's Wednesday, my dudes, as someone once said.
All right. So Wednesday. I'm over here at my desk, minding my own business.
Not here.
Not here.
At work.
My work desk.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
In my office. And so, Rory, he's a
Work friend.
work friend. He comes in and he's like, hey, there's a guy coming in that wants to open up an account. He's really sketchy. I don't feel comfortable any of the girls taking him. I was like, will you take him? I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, I'm everybody's friend. Huh? Then the dude came in. And I was like, oh, and I felt bad. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this guy a chance. He
Yeah,
came
not
in.
judging him by his,
Yeah, I mean, he
his
came
rapper.
in, wife beater, tank top, tats all over, teardrops, and I was like, you know what? I mean, this guy, like, looks like
Did some steroids and pumped some iron. He's getting his gains.
Yeah, oh, definitely. He's not missing out on leg day or arm day. So, but I'm like, you know what? This could be the nicest man in the world. I'm gonna give him a chance. So, start asking him questions. Not prying questions, just typical casual day. And every time somebody would come in, he'd be like, "Look," I'm like, okay. I don't care if it's grandma or grandpa. That's a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's like super finicky, like playing with his hand. I'm like, okay. I was like, and he has like these. Looks like he's kind of tweaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm seeing some red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asks 2 questions you never ask anybody in a bank.
Oh, no.
You never ask these questions. First, hey man, do y'all have any security cameras in here?
Oh, God. I mean, come on, man. If you're gonna do it, at least be more discreet.
I was like, yeah, man. I was like, we do have cameras. I was like, you can't see them, but they see you. Like, I'm letting him know that we see you. And he was like, okay, good. Okay. I'm like, okay. And then I was asking him a few more questions. And then he's like, do y'all have a security guard? I'm like, can't disclose that information. And he's like, okay. And then he proceeds to tell me that there was like 4 guys that was wanting to jump him, and I don't know why. So I'm like, okay, great. So your first thought is to run into a bank. So not only are you putting yourself in danger, cornering yourself,
everybody else though.
Everybody in the bank's in danger. So I'm like, great.
More likely.
So
sorry.
I was like, my first thought was, let me email my manager and let them know what's going on. Well, the way my desk is they sit here, I sit here, and my computer sits like right here. So there was no amount of me being able to angle it to where, because the guy was like leaning over my desk, so he could see everything I was typing. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to type, hey, I have this weird dude, call the cops. So
Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
So for opening up an account, if your driver's license doesn't match where you live, we have to have address verification.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I was like, hey, you got something like a bill or, some kind of ID or anything in your vehicle that has your name and your address on it? He's like, I don't know. He's like, let me go out there and check. Well, I went and I let Rory know what was going on. Mm-hmm. Rory goes outside with him.
He got the doctor, didn't he?
The doctor?
Rory.
Oh, Rory.
God, no.
Oh, timey-wimey. No. So after I told Rory, he was, I guess, trying to do a good thing, but he goes outside with this dude. Because he thought he was leaving. He didn't know he was coming back in, so he was trying to get the guy's license plate.
Yeah.
But so I went and told my manager, and so she calls the cops, and she was like, just take him back into your office, act like everything's normal. So I'm like, okay, take him back into my office. We're going through, and I go to do the last thing that lets me know whether or not we can open up an account for him or not. Well, it pops up denied, so I'm like, okay. So, and then the cops come, and my office is a little bit smaller than the studio room we're in. So think about me, my desk,
Bless you.
steroids dude, and 3 cops.
I thought it was 4.
Well, the third one was outside, so I'm not really counting him because he was outside my door.
Yeah.
But 3 cops were huddled around me.
Yeah.
And
did you feel safe?
I did not.
Yeah. Okay.
That many guns
That's
and a
stuff.
tweaked out dude at my desk.
Yeah, that could he would make Hulk Hogan look small.
No, he's not that big.
Oh, okay.
Like the dude
I
was
trying to fluff the character up.
Well, he is about 6 foot, but he was
his muscles weren't as big as Hulk Hogan.
no.
Okay.
But like, I mean, he was
needs to
still
pump more iron,
he
then.
still would have been hard to take down just me. Well, they start asking him questions and everything like that. Well, they see that homeboy has a knife. They're like, do you have any other weapons? And he was like, no. And he goes to reach for the knife, and they're like, don't reach for it. And as they say, don't reach for it, he pulls the knife out. Not angrily, but like getting ready to attack somebody. But then I see all three of the cops is like instinct. They go,
their training kicks in.
Oh, yeah. They pull back, and I sit back in my chair, and I'm like, I'm about to have a shootout at my desk. I was like, what do I do? And he goes, whoa. And he puts it down on my on the desk.
Yeah, he's just trying to put it down.
And so they took him outside to talk to him for a little bit.
Like the mob took him out?
No, the cops took him out.
Yeah.
Was, interrogating, and then they went through his truck to see about drugs. Well, they didn't find anything, so
good.
The cops are talking to my manager while the dude comes in and finishes trying to open up the account. So after all that, I had to PR spin it and be like, hey, man, I didn't call the cops on you. I called the cops for your protection and the bank's protection.
Yeah, because he said that.
Based off of what you told me with those four guys, I was like, I don't want any of us getting hurt over something stupid that someone else is doing. Like, I made it think. Like, it's them.
What if he's a viewer?
I was just about to say, what if he's watching this right now?
Like, what if he comes in and be like, Robert Rawls?
Well, he knows exactly who I am.
I know he knows.
Let me finish. So after I tell this gentleman that we cannot open him up an account, he owes other institutions money. He's like, okay. I was like, clear it up with this institution, and then if you are still wanting to, we can go through with opening up the account. I just need some kind of proof that you paid it off. He's like, okay. And typically at that point, I'm getting ready to hand out one of my business cards. But I was like, no. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this. And I'm like, all right, man. I was like, I appreciate you stopping by. Like I said, sorry about the whole craziness, and I hope, everything's okay. And like, those guys don't mess with you anymore. And he's like, appreciate it. And I'm leading him,
ushering him out.
And he's like, oh, wait. And he picks up my card. He goes, Robert? I was like, yeah, that's me.
No, my name is Rory.
So he's like, okay. And then he leaves. And I went and told Teresa and the four cops that were standing there. I was like, yep. Just had to deny him the account. So, he went home, got my card, pinned it on his wall. He's like, I'm coming for him. So that was my interesting.
Or he's like, you know what? This guy, he was being so nice to me. He even called the cops to help me. Like, what a nice guy. And maybe he's going to buy you flowers.
And then I told my boss, I was like, can I go home for like mental stress in the workplace? And she was like, get back to work.
Yes.
So I tried to spin it in my
favor. You did just have 3 cops almost pull their guns in your office. So,
you're fine. You're fine.
I mean, and then the next person I had was telling me about her priors and how she was addicted to pills.
Man, that's somebody you want to give a loan.
She was opening up an account. She was able to open one up. So, apparently everything's,
good.
And I was telling her, second chances are a great thing. And I was like, you just got to use it. Because I have a lot of, ex-cons or people with priors coming in. And for some reason, they all end up in my office.
Oh, you're a friendly face.
And I always tell them, I'm like, second chances, they're not given out often. I was like, but when you given one, you got to take it.
Use it the right way.
And so I told my boss, I was like, yeah, that next lady she was a felon too. She's like, we got to come up with a nickname for you. I was like, I know. I'm thinking about just having
Warden Rawls.
I told her, I was like, I need
That's
to have
hard to say, by the way. Warden Rawls.
I told her I'm going to have Folsom Prison Blues just playing on a loop in my office.
That's so terrible.
But yeah, interesting week for me. I hope for the next couple of weeks it's nice and chill, so I don't have to
hopefully so
deal with any more stress for a little bit.
Allie, how was your week?
I spent most of it playing piano.
Piano?
Yep.
So what are you playing?
See if I can remember. One is the Scriabin Prelude in A minor, except it modulates keys like a whole bunch. It's very dissonant. It's very, very pretty. The other one is
it's very dissonant. It's very
it's like it sounds really weird, but it's like one of the most gorgeous pieces I've ever heard.
Yeah. But when you say dissonant, I'm just
it's like what? Those two shouldn't go together, but they do. And the other one, it's a Haydn the first movement of a Haydn sonata. What is it? It's
Like a Hyundai.
it's like the Hobe, like Bogan or something. XV1, or Opus 23. XV1 something 23. But it's very long. It's 6 pages. First
fun.
2 pages repeat, and then the last 4 pages repeat. But I got them all memorized. I'm playing them. And then my professor was like, all right, we're gonna like, because originally the tempo it was 100 to the 8th, which is like, because it's really fast.
Yeah.
Because it's technically written in 2/4, but I'm counting it in 4/4 because I love myself.
It's in 2/2 or 4/4. You said 2/4, so.
I take it back. It's probably like in 2/2. I don't
Okay,
remember.
so like cut time.
Yes, but I'm counting it in 4 because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I used to hate cut time.
It's just counting in 4, like whatever.
I make my kids. I'm like, you gotta be able to do it.
Oh no,
in
sure. I
cut
mean,
time.
like if they know, like you should know how to do it, but then once you get up to
But
like
do
different
you want
places,
to do it?
no. And then, but yes, like I was already at a really fast tempo, and he was like, "We're gonna up it up to this tempo." So I started playing it, and I was like, "These are fast." It's just like there's like long runs of just 30-second notes, and I'm like,
Yeah, 30-second notes.
but I mean, like, yeah, but like they're fun pieces, and
Good. I'm glad you like them.
I at first I hated that Haydn just because it was like really hard.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
now I'm like, okay, cool, I can play it, whatever, and it's fun. So, yeah, that's been my week. That and finding all the stuff for Nerd Caves and Dragons, because for those who don't know, I've been moving, and so I don't know where anything is. I had like a pair of flip flops. I went to go find one this morning. I already lost one of them, and I'm like, how did this happen? I just wore this like 2 days ago. So, but I found
Monster
it.
House. That's what someone would say.
Did you ever see that movie?
No, I didn't.
It's a bad movie.
How was your week?
Yeah, it was your week.
It was pretty good. Everybody's like, when are they going to get to the nerdy stuff?
I just talked about piano for a while. Is that not
Yeah,
nerdy?
I'm gonna be nerdy, and you talked about finances, so that's extremely nerdy.
Well, I'll talk about
and I
violence and
also
finances.
mentioned Nerd Caves and Dragons, the ultimate nerdy.
Yeah. For me, like this is the first week out of MPA season.
Oh yeah, how's that feel?
It feels a big relief. I am so thankful that it's done. So this week's been interesting for a plethora of reasons. First off, we had the local Winn-Dixie reopening. They asked us to play at it. So Thursday, like we practiced a little bit, got some of our stand tunes like dusted off or whatever. Just proves that my kids do have things memorized. So we're getting rid of flip books next year. So if they watch this, get ready.
Oh, God.
But so we were. I was up I woke up at like 5:45. That's an hour before I normally wake up. I went to bed at 9 the previous night.
That's smart.
It was very smart. Most rested I've ever been in a very long time. But we got there. We played for it. It is the weirdest thing that I've done with band, and I've been doing band for almost 20 years now. So we get through like we're playing in the parking lot, and everybody's like, oh yeah, and all that, and then like, oh, we want you to march through the store.
What?
And I'm like I knew this beforehand, so I like prepped my kids and everything. They had let the shoppers in before they let the band in. That's something I've got to tell them not to do, like if they do this ever again.
Yeah.
Because like I had to like push grannies out of the way pretty much. Because like people were like trying to get meat, and we're coming down with like 127 piece band, like just down the aisles playing and yelling and all of this kind of stuff. And like there's people like trying to get lettuce and just all of this stuff. They were in the way.
I'm absolutely 100% that person though. It's like, so I just need to get the cheese, please. Just let me get cheese. Let me get my cheese.
They're on the other side, and what they really want on the other side, they're just like.
Exactly. I'm never coming back here.
It's like if you know the song that they're playing, you're just like, I've got about 2 minutes of this. Cool.
So, like, if they would have, because, like, the employees went in, you know, then they, like, brought all the customers in. Like, they should have had, like, the employees go in, and then the band leads everybody into the store.
Yeah.
That would have been much, much better. But no, it was the opposite, where it was like, everybody in, all right, now, band, march through our customers.
So weird.
Trample.
I've also never heard of like a store getting a band to play for their grand.
It's more common than you think.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I guess I. Yeah, I should. My words have left me.
Panera's grand opening of airport, we had Washington High School's drumline march around the building like 8,000 times.
Gulf Breeze, before I got there, when they opened the Chick-fil-A here, they played for it, and then they got free Chick-fil-A. And I'm just like, see, my band is steeped in the Chick-fil-A
tradition.
A lot of my kids work there, but we thankfully got a $2,000 check for that. So that definitely was a nice little thing on that.
Show.
But the biggest thing is, like, we started handing out new music this week, and we're playing this piece called Symphony No. 1 in Memoriam of Dresden. And it's about the bombing of Dresden, the Allies' bombing of Dresden and everything. I won't go in the history of it, but it's a very, very, like, serious piece. And, like, the last page is literally a picture of, like, Dresden burning, and, like, you have to do, like, certain things for, like, 1:30 seconds to, like, recreate the actual firebombing of Dresden. So it's
deep.
It's some heavy stuff. I go from playing American Elegy to playing this song. I'm all on the I'm prepping people for some serious stuff, but there in the piece you have to say German words. Like you're like citizens that are in the town and everything. So it's like fire, smoke, firestorm, baptism of fire. Like there's like 4 or 5 words that you have to say, but they're all in German.
Yeah.
So like I get it, and I'm like, you know who would be good at this? My beautiful and talented wife, Amy. I was like, so hey, can you help me do this pronunciation? So she came in yesterday, and she started, did the whole explanation. This is how it should sound. Said it, and like repeated and all of that. And I'm sure you feel the same way.
With our accents?
It is so hard to sound like a German when you have such a southern accent.
What are you doing?
It's like, there's one, it's like, fire is like fire. Like it sounds like, it sounds almost like you're from Boston saying fire. It's very interesting, but there's one, it's like, Feiertaufe and then Feiersturm, and I'm probably not still saying it right. So I'm over there like struggling. My kids are getting it because they don't really have that much of a southern accent. And Amy's like making fun of me. She's like, "You got to work on that." I was like, "Yeah." And this morning, something happened. I was up at mom and dad's, and they were like, "Yeah, you can take the boy out of J, but you can't take the J out of the boy." And Amy told the story. I'm just like, yep.
That was really funny.
Trust me, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to playing that one. So that's going to be a very interesting thing. But that was pretty much. Yeah, if I talk, no, that was weird. It was like I went this way and like it totally went away. But there's all of our weeks, and I hope you enjoy the podcast.
We'd rather talk about the movies or go into the serious and then end on a light note? Or?
We'll see if we're almost out of time, so let's just talk about the good stuff. I don't know if y'all saw that Black Panther is getting a sequel.
Yeah,
it is getting a second one.
I did not see.
Kevin Feige confirmed, I think late last night, that Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Black Panther 2 is officially going to be a thing, so that's awesome.
I'm very happy about that. It was so good.
They'd be dumb not to.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But having the confirmation just makes life... What? having the confirmation just makes
Yeah.
it makes you just feel better. I wonder, who's going to be the villain in this one, because Michael B. Jordan did.
Don't be telling me if he died or not.
No, I'm saying Michael B. Jordan did such a good job.
Bring
as
him back
Killmonger.
and just do the Loki thing. Just push it into the dirt until he's obsolete.
Yeah, but like Loki's different. Loki's more like an anti-hero in a sense. Well, he was a villain turned anti-hero.
Pretty much. But I don't think that they go the route of Killmonger in this one for a few different reasons in the first movie.
Yeah.
I think they're going to move on from it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's curious as to who is going to be the big baddie in this one.
Plus, they'll have more potential to set more stuff up like after Infinity Wars and stuff.
Yeah, and curious to see, like, I know it's been, I think, 2 weeks since they had announced that they were pushing it up. Like, what do you like? Why do you think that Marvel would push up their movie after just releasing Black Panther? Like, they pushed it up a month.
Honestly, I think it's because people, like, after seeing Black Panther, people are like, oh my gosh, yes, like, they're so excited and all that fun stuff. And so it's like they're trying to ride the hype train. I also think it's because, actually, I'm trying to, like, now, like, because there's a few other Marvel movies coming out this year, right?
We've got Black Panther. We have Avengers.
We have oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I know there's.
Is there another one? I know Aquaman comes out this year, but that's not Marvel.
Oh no! While you're looking that up, I saw this thing. I think it was on Instagram. It was like, I don't like the message that, like, I'm afraid of the message that Wonder Woman's gonna. It was like before Wonder Woman came out. Like the message that Wonder Woman's gonna send to all of our kids, and they're like, what? That there's like strong female characters. Like, no, that people can expect more good DC movies.
Well, with Wonder Woman, did y'all see that Kristen Wiig got cast as Cheetah? I'm just like,
I was like, that's such a weird casting choice, but I'm excited.
I'm not saying that she's a bad actress or anything like that. It just doesn't fit the character in my mind.
Well, because she's so, I mean, she's fierce. She's like, her sole goal in life
Bloodthirsty.
is to, but she wants to end Wonder Woman's life. And I just don't get the vibe.
I don't get that from Kristen Wiig. I remember her puking in Bridesmaids.
I remember the, like, SNL, like, the tiny little baby hands, like, singer.
Yeah.
I hope she kills it. I mean, I hope we get to see a different side of her that we haven't seen before. Because, I mean, like I said, this character that she's playing is, I mean, she's hardcore.
I think, especially given, like, the way that they really handled all the different characters in the first Wonder Woman movie, I don't think they would have casted her had they not believed that she'd be able to capture it. I mean, like, granted, you could say that for any movie, but, like, especially Wonder Woman, just because everyone is expecting so much from the second movie since the first one was so good.
Yeah. Well, 2/3 of it was good.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, the other movies are Ant-Man and Wasp, Deadpool 2.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you think, is it, Robbie?
It's not as easy as it's technically Disney again.
And Venom.
Oh yeah, because
I finally saw the Venom trailer. It looked really interesting.
It does look very interesting.
It looked nothing like Venom should be.
No,
exactly.
When it first came out, I was like, "What?" I was like, "Marvel." I'm like, "What movie is this?" And then it was like they finally started showing like the Venom logo, and I was like, "Oh."
I as soon as I saw the people in it, I was like, I leaned over at Holly. I was like, "This is Venom."
I completely forgot Tom Hardy got cast as that.
She's like, "How?" Because I would lean over to her every time a movie would, like, a trailer would come on. I'm like, "It's this." She's like, "How do you know?" Like, within the first few seconds, I was like,
"Because you do the show."
I was like,
watch stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, "It's my life."
Yeah, I completely forgot that Tom Hardy had gotten cast. So I'm like, "What movie is Tom Hardy gonna be in?"
I think it's going to be an interesting take.
I do too.
Venom. I don't think it's going to be the Venom we know.
No.
I love Venom as a bad guy.
I like the 90s cartoon Venom.
Oh, they're gonna say you like the Topher Grace Venom, and I'm like, yes, of course.
No.
No, man.
But I'm excited that it is moved up, and I think Allie kind of hit it there a little bit. I think they see how really good, how a great and amazing Black Panther has done, and I think they're going to try to ride the coattails of it because you know, people are still wanting to see more of Black Panther, and Black Panther being in Infinity War. I mean, at the very end, it's like Black Panther will be back in Infinity War, and it's like, oh, I want Infinity War to get here soon.
Yeah.
And also because after Infinity War, people like the hype's gonna die down a little bit just because it's been this huge like climactic buildup. It's like, you know, that's gonna happen, and so they're gonna. I think by moving it up, they'll also allow more time from that until their next movie.
Ant-Man and
the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp, and so it'll give more time for people to like calm down and then get back up to it.
Poor choice in costume design.
Oh no!
I can't not see it.
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody, and we've brought this up many, many, many times. Do you think, like, just with Marvel, they're putting out Black Panther, Infinity War, The Wasp, Deadpool? That's because they have.
Good, didn't he?
That's 4 superhero movies.
Well,
in 1 year?
And then,
I'm not counting Venom,
okay.
But that's just 4 from Marvel.
Yeah.
And then you've got Venom, you've got Aquaman that's coming out. Mm-hmm. Not sure what else is coming out, but
yeah,
like,
I'm not sure on the DC side. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's 6. That's 6 in a year.
It is very, very overly saturated year in and year out with these superhero movies. But, I mean, until they start being really bad,
people are still going to go see them.
I'm still going to go watch them. Like, the one that we thought was going to be possibly the worst could be the end of the Marvel having great movies was Ant-Man. So we came in with such low expectations that like it blew us away.
But
same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know,
and like I said, there really hasn't been a miss yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Especially because with Ant-Man, and I'm assuming with Ant-Man and Wasp as well, people were like, this is going to be ridiculous, but like they went into the movie knowing like, yes, this premise, like they were very self-aware, and whenever movies are self-aware of a ridiculous premise, they can build around that and make jokes about it, and it's fun and still make a good movie, which is exactly what Ant-Man was. They were very self-aware, and so like you went in knowing that they weren't taking it super seriously, so you didn't have to take it super seriously, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, I agree. With me, like, you know, it's not just the movies, but you look at TV as well. You've got, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. going on still?
Still going on.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You've got Legion.
It just got confirmed for season 2 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one just came out. You've got Luke Cage coming out with another season.
Jessica Jones just came out.
Yeah, I thought that's what she said.
No. I said Legion season 2.
Yeah. Jessica Jones just came out on Netflix. You've got all of these things going on, and then you've got Arrow, Days of Tomorrow, Flash,
Black Lightning.
You've got iZombie. You've got all of these things going on.
Oh, iZombie is a comic?
Yeah.
It's from Valiant.
From
Valiant Comics, which is owned by DC.
Yeah. Okay.
But you've got all of these properties going on, and then you've got the animated side of it as well.
Yeah,
and
Vixen, is a TV show.
Yeah, on
I'm gonna
CWC.
show you a really I could show it to you now, but no one else will be able to watch it. It's like a clip from one of the DC animated shows or whatever, and it's this reminds me, I want to talk about Shazam in a second.
Yeah.
But it was a clip of them like at a round table, and they're like, Shazam lied, like he's only like 10 years old and like an adult body or whatever, and like it's I'll have to show it to you later. It's really funny.
I remember what I saw the animated movie that's in where they find out that he's a kid instead of
yeah.
But it's like the caption is like when your girl tries to roast you in front of everybody because Wonder Woman's like she's talking to Batman about it's like no she's talking to him about like, well, of course you feel okay with him being like this because you recruited Robin to go fight crime when he was like 9 years old or something like that, and he's like, and she's like, well, he's gonna turn out, or why'd you do it so that he would turn out like you? And he's like, no, so that he won't. And then it's like the gif of the guy where it's like everyone's like, oh. Again, I'd have to show it to you. It's funny.
I know those things where it's like
it's funny, but you have to see it. I'm not good at explaining things. Anyway, back to
Shazam. Yeah, they showed
Shazam.
some pictures this week.
Yeah, I saw one thing. Someone was like, the fanboys about Aquaman. He doesn't look like he does in the comics, and then it's like fanboys about Shazam. He looks too much like he does in the comics. Like, I actually really like his new outfit. Like, it looks like a really good cosplay, and typically really good cosplays are better than the actual thing that you say, but that's okay. So like I really like it. Like it does look very comic booky. Like it's very clean cut. I actually really like it.
Yeah, I saw the pictures and everything, and it definitely looks. I don't think he's as built as his suit makes him look.
Yeah, I was like, that's a little.
Yeah, that I think that's my biggest like.
It doesn't look quite right.
Yeah, but I love the fact of like the way the suit looks.
Yeah,
like
no,
it
absolutely.
looks
so clean.
good.
I have
And
seen the
compared to like you look
I
at
have a picture on my
Aquaman, you look at Mirror, you look at even Wonder Woman, like none of them are super vibrant colors. His, on the other hand, looks so like close to the comics, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm just curious how it's going to come off in like
Here,
action
I'll pull it up.
scenes and everything. Like, does he look real? You know, because it definitely looks like the suit is making up majority of his body mass.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, it does.
some people, can't bulk up like others, but it definitely looks like the suit is making up majority of what Shazam is supposed to, like that imposing figure and everything. But I
you
do,
get to see like the way it looks like in person.
yeah, and like I
See if
like
I find a
that
better one, though.
it is bright. Like it's not
Yeah.
that DC.
Yeah, I really like I think that's what I really like about it, is that it's very bright. It's not how DC tries to make things very dark and gritty.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, I agree. It's just it looks nice, and it looks like we're getting
Mm-hmm. There you
closer
go.
to what it
That's
should
the
be.
best one.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. But, I mean, for them to get Shazam to look like he does in the comic, nobody has that perfect, like...
That big, broad shoulder
that
type deal.
triangle look where it's like...
I do.
Yeah, like if you look at his shoulders, you can see what kind of looks like some boning there to like help like keep the shape of the shoulder. Which I'm surprised they didn't just use shoulder pads for him. But like whatever.
That'd be a lot of 80s shoulder pads.
Oh,
Well,
I
I'm saying like more not like
I think of my mom going to church in the night.
not like not like Coat's shoulder pads, but like actual like pads over the shoulder, not Coat shoulder pads.
Because you know what I'm talking about. Though.
I remember my mom with them. Oh, the big hair. Oh, man, that's good. That's good.
Last movie thing for me is last night I watched Jumanji for the first time. And I've been wanting to watch it because
The new one, not the
I
old
think
one.
the new one, the last trailer we saw kind of spun me in a different direction because I was anti this movie up until that last trailer.
Yeah.
I watched it, really enjoyed it. I have not laughed at so much in a movie in my entire life, but I should have known Jack Black, Kevin Hart,
The Rock.
and The Rock all in one movie. Hilarious, because my favorite part, because this isn't a spoiler because we see Kevin Hart exploding.
Yeah.
And
Don't
crazy,
eat
yeah.
cake.
And because they touch their left pec, and like their strengths and weaknesses pop up. Well, it's Kevin Hart's weakness is cake, and so the girl who turns into Jack Black, she's like, because she's in a game, she can eat whatever she wants to. She's like, I haven't had bread in 6 years, and like Kevin Hart runs up there and he goes, what is this? He's like, it's my famous pound cake. And he's like, this is cake. Now I bet she's like, it's been so long since I've had bread, I forgot what it tastes like. He goes like, how do you forget what bread tastes like? And he goes, am I swelling up? Is there anything on my face? They're like, no. He's like, am I still black? They're like, yeah. He's like, there ain't nothing wrong with it. And all of a sudden
Yeah, I remember seeing that scene in the trailer and I was like crying laughing.
and there's one time because Kevin Hart's the bigger kid, and the guy who plays The Rock's the skinny one. He's like, just because you 6'4", 6'5" now and all jacked up, don't think that I can't like mess you up. And like he pushes him, and the Rock flinches. That was hilarious in itself. And so Kevin Hart comes in, he slaps The Rock, and it's like, And he like punches him and he doesn't even move. And the guy goes, boom, and Kevin Hart flies off. So it's a good family-friendly movie. There is one scene that's not very family-friendly, but everything else is. It's when Jack Black goes and uses the bathroom for the first time, and I'm sure every woman has wondered how this feels. And so that was...
Allie doesn't seem to agree that she's wanted to know how
No,
it
it's
feels.
just I'm just like the
But
fact that
you've
like
heard,
no, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's more I'm like it's the fact that I'm like oh, okay, that's in the movie. Okay.
And like, Kevin Hart's going to pee. He's like, I gotta pee too. Can you like show me like how to do it? They're like, he's like, yeah. so like that was. I mean, it was funny, but I could see where
It was
it's
a little
awkward for
crude.
families and stuff because it's aimed towards kids still a little bit.
Yeah,
But-
but that kind of humor's been in kids' movies for as long as I can remember. There's
Oh,
always
yeah.
something there for the adults.
Yeah, that adult humor
But yeah.
going on.
But it was still very good, and I
Adults.
think that everybody should watch it if you liked the first Jumanji, because it does kind of throw a Alan Parrish, I want to say the last name,
Something like that, yeah.
like when they go into Jumanji, because you know how Alan was in there for years in the original movie. Well, it shows like his little hut
Oh,
and everything like that.
Okay, I like
So
that. I
I
like
was
that
like-
little
That's
nod.
really
I was
cool.
like, that was a super cool nod, and I was like, okay. I was like, that just kind of...
Yeah, it like ties everything together and like doesn't take away from the original movie.
And
Yeah.
you see why it became a video game, which that was my biggest issue, is why it became a video game.
Mm-hmm.
But you see why, and the game's obviously magic, so it can do
it
whatever.
adapted.
Yeah, that's exactly what it did.
Yeah,
Like-
obviously.
The kid picks it up, like he's running down the beach, and all of a sudden you hear, do, 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 do. And then I pick it up, and he like brings it home. He's like, who plays board games anymore? And he throws it down and like starts playing his old Atari,
Yeah.
and it turns into an Atari cartridge. So I mean, it was pretty interesting. I think everybody needs to watch it. Give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
2.
2.
Actually, 2 thumbs and 2 big toes are up right now.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's 4
essentially.
by my math.
Yeah.
By my math. Any other moving stuff?
Sorry, what's
Excuse me. Only one not affected.
Can't think of anything.
I say I was sitting on edge. I was like, I couldn't even take a sip
Yeah,
of my
I
tea till
know.
I fit
I
what you
know.
were
I
going to
was
say.
like,
No.
what's going on? What's going on? All right. Well,
Yeah.
there you go, guys. Before we go, I had one quick question for you. Question to pose here.
It depends on the
All right.
question.
You probably don't know what this is, but I'll explain it real quick.
Okay.
Fusions in Dragon Ball Z, where you take 2 people, fuse them together, and
Okay.
they become powerful.
I can grasp the premise of it.
Okay. So let's say we fused Goku, strongest fighter in Dragon Ball Z ever. He's always going to be the main character. They tried making Gohan the main character, and everybody's like, nah. Goku fuses with Superman. Okay.
Boring.
Who could beat that fusion? Like, you could make a fusion of yourself, of 2 other characters as well to beat them. But who could beat Goku and Superman fused together?
God, Batman, and Iron Man.
Boring. No. Wonder Woman solo with Kryptonite.
Wonder Man solo?
Wonder Woman solo. She doesn't need a fusion with Kryptonite.
But what if it's not affected as much because it's only half
Who cares
of
Wonder Woman? She can do whatever she wants. Did you see the No Man's scene? The No Man's Land scene? She could do
I
whatever
did.
she wants.
I did
I don't think. I
They
mean, I
didn't
really don't know.
accurately make a trench, but, whatever, yeah.
Like,
don't degrade that scene.
I don't like
It's a very powerful scene.
Wonder Woman against Goku. Goku would win.
Oh yeah, hands down.
There's not a
hands down.
There's not a person
Like
in
Goku
Marvel or DC that could beat Goku.
Yeah,
I feel like.
yeah. I think Superman would be the closest that could come close to beating Goku.
But with
Superman's
them
so
paired
boring and
up,
gross.
like I could even see Galactus and
Thanos
Batman.
and Darkseid.
yeah.
Here's my thing. You want to say people could be like Goku beats anybody? Fine, whatever. The second Superman gets added in the equation, they'll lose to anybody because I see Superman as like a factor of 0, and therefore he negates everything because he sucks.
Well, just because like that's your opinion, man, does it?
It's not fact. You're living in post-truth, man.
But like adding those two together, like it would have to. I would say pair Batman with somebody because Batman's
Yeah, he's got the brains to
The-
take
the-
all.
It's
all
just
to,
such a
to be able to
boring
be like, okay, this
combination.
is his
It's so-
weakness.
so
We got to
lame.
work Goku up so much that he gets so hungry that he can't be like, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Beat him with food.
But like I said, it'd be hard pressed to beat that pair up.
It's just so boring.
She's unimpressed.
I am. I really like.
That don't impress her much.
I just have such a disdain for Superman in general because he's just so boring. Like he's just really not interesting.
You haven't read a good Superman story then.
No, I have. They're all boring. There's only one Superman I like, and it's because he's funny. It's from a musical, so don't worry about it.
I think Russian Superman
Russian.
was
Like,
pretty
You know
cool.
what? That's fair. That's fair.
like you need to read that comic.
Yeah,
It is actually Red Son.
He's
Yeah,
just
Red Son.
he's just so there's just so many more other interesting heroes out there than Superman.
I'm talking about like power levels. I'm not
Exactly,
talking
but
about like,
no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He's just like, I'm essentially a god here. I'm just like, whatever. Like, there's just, it's so boring.
Like, I mean, if I know you with such disdain for Superman, I was
Well,
like,
okay, I shouldn't.
if there's one comic that could potentially change your mind, because I was always like Superman, but then I really got a new appreciation for Superman when I read that comic.
I shouldn't. Okay, I shouldn't say I hate Superman. I hate
the way
hype.
he's been written.
I hate the hype of Superman.
Yeah.
Where people, exactly like this. People are like, who would Superman of this? And it's like, I don't care. Superman sucks. It's more like that. I was just like, as a character, I'm like, yeah, no, Superman's fun. He's cool. Like when done well, he has an interesting backstory, all that fun stuff. But then like he's just so OP and it's so boring. Whenever people like compare it and stuff like that, it's so unimpressive.
Mustached Superman.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
CGI'd
Okay.
out mustache.
Okay, CGI. Okay, it's like two ends of a spectrum. It's like chaotic, or it's like lawful good, chaotic evil. Edit out mustaches, chaotic evil.
Oh,
Mustaches,
yeah.
lawful good, obviously.
It looked so bad. I wish they would have just given him long hair and be done with it.
I
That would have
know.
been awesome.
I was really pulling for the
Black suit.
black
Oh
suit,
man,
the
that would have
long
been so
hair.
good.
That would have been
missed
such
opportunities.
a good nod. Like when we saw him come out, and I was just like, cool, he's back, but
Yeah.
I'm curious. There's probably a couple different reasons why they didn't do it. I wonder if because I'm trying to because I know that they've been releasing footage from Infinity Wars for like a really really long time, and the promo pics even sooner before that. And I know that like Captain America's coming back with that. You know, like the all like he's like blacked out the star. You know, just got the beard like he's gone rogue or whatever. So I'm curious if it was like they didn't look like they were like copying, even though they wouldn't be copying. It's his own thing.
Like with Superman, like the long hair black suit was back in like the 90s.
That's
so
exactly
I'm not sure.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
they wouldn't have been copying, but I'm curious if like in terms of the cinematic universe, they wanted to avoid looking like they were trying to pull like a similar move.
Yeah, I definitely could see that. Did y'all see that Joss Whedon
Oh God,
has
name around me.
pause.
yeah, you got to put the pause in there. Joss
Is he still doing back
Whedon is officially off Batgirl. Well, Allie's happy. You can't see it if you're listening to the audio version of the
God
podcast.
bless America. Especially after that Wonder Woman script, and I know that all of his like reshoots for Justice League or whatever.
Yeah.
He did not need to be doing that movie. I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to do this,
like
but I have
old
to tell my
Jossie
friends this
boy.
news immediately because we were all
I
very.
like old Jossie boy.
It's a little bit of a sexist.
Well,
Cheated on
I
his
mean,
wife.
besides
him being a horrible human
His
being.
old work was good.
director, Jocelyn, human being, Jocelyn, nah. But
You know
director,
who I like? Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan's a very good director.
Very good director. He's the best. Irvin Kershner, another one.
Patty Jenkins.
This is how you mute yourself. Not, I'm going to turn myself up.
I was like, which one am I?
Yeah, Patty Jenkins.
Yeah, she's really good. I just doubt the Kristen Wiig.
I know it's definitely it's going to be really
why?
it's really weird, but I'm trying to be optimistic about it.
Well, I've been a DC fan for a very long time.
Yeah.
Being optimistic.
It's not what you should. It's not a good idea to be optimistic for DC movies now.
No,
point.
And then you just tout your flag and you just beat your chest and you say Batman versus Superman is the best movie of 2016, and it is. And I'll fight you over
and
that
17
one.
and 18.
And 18 is the best movie that's ever been written and directed by a human being.
I got my friend to watch it because we were like, let's watch a bunch of bad movies. She watched it and she was like, I have no idea what I just watched. And I was like, yeah, me either. This is my second time watching it.
It's good. It's good.
The only issue I have with it is
Lex
All the
Luthor
plot holes.
is amazing in that
Oh
movie.
my no, Jesse Eisenberg's performance was incredible.
I hated it.
Why?
I love him as an actor, but I hated his portrayal.
I really liked it because it was a very from my understanding, it was a very different take on Lex Luthor, and I
will say-
really liked it.
At first, I hated him, and he built up just a little bit to where I was like, I'm okay with it. And then the snot scene at the end, I was like, nope, back off.
Yeah, the snot scene at the end was weird.
Oh
but-
yeah, it was a little gross.
I was like, you almost had me, but I was like, I'm back off the train.
Oh, all right, everybody. There you go. There is episode 245. It was a much different episode.
yeah.
I
but-
don't remember half the stuff we talked about, to be
Like-
perfectly honest.
Gaming side of this week was
How dare you!
huge.
You can't talk about that.
But
Yeah, if you want to check out all the gaming stuff, if you've been gone for a while, you can come back. You're back. Welcome back. All of our gaming stuff is now over at Nerd Cave Plus. The power of the buttons are over here, so you can check that out.
It's the big one.
it's my reach too.
So stupid.
Oh my lord! You can check out Nerd Cave Plus. We go live each and every Tuesday and Thursday around 7:00 and talk about all the nerdy news in the video game world that you need to know. And
I do like I would say around 7:00.
around 7:00, we cannot promise 7:00 on the dot. But this week was so big for video game news, especially with Nintendo's Direct. And you can watch me and Robbie talk about it over on YouTube.com and Facebook and Twitch and everywhere in between.
PS Plus is the show. We're also on
PS Plus.
PS Plus.
Nerd Cave
Plus.
Wow.
Podcast as well.
Yeah, we're podcast services all over the place.
Around the globe.
All over the place.
So
Throw a dart at your podcast service. We're probably on it.
all right, everybody. There you go. There's episode 245 of the Nerd Cave podcast. If you want to throw some dollars, get all this awesome stuff early, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Check it out there. We're fixing to record some Nerd Caves and Dragons. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons, that's our show. So check it out. First episode is out Monday. The new one will be out. So by the time you're hearing this, if you're hearing
The third
it
episode will be out Monday. The first episode's already been out.
First episode part 1 and 2 are out. Second episode's going live for everybody on Monday. Third episode's going live. I don't know when.
the next Monday.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we're still on the
Yeah,
weekly.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I thought we were gonna. Okay. Never mind.
Nope.
Cool.
We're staying on target.
Sorry, everybody.
Trench run.
Stay
All right.
on target.
There you go, everybody. This has been Zach.
Robbie.
And Allie.
Have a week.
Are you ready to kick the pig?
Yeah, we can.
Let's kick it.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1.
I just realized what you just did.
Oh, that hurt.
What happened?
Hey,
All I heard was a
guys.
really loud clap. I was trying to
Well,
turn my phone on silent. I forgot to do that.
I have everything running through the
Oh,
headphones. Oh.
You fool.
So, guys, that's your blooper for the day.
You absolute buffoon.